Who'd have thought that someone with 3 screws in her hip could sling around a mechanical swine and come out on a spit? And it looks like you're not compromised in terms of what you can do physically anymore.
No. And actually, that's a good word, compromise.
Yeah.
You know, that is, I think, why I posted that message. I grew up loving music, and you watch your favorite artists grow, and you know, it's an age-old tale, right? They build you up to tear you down. And you watch it happen, and you see so many artists try so hard to act like it's not affecting them, or I'm okay, and putting on a front and just keep going. And, you know, people in your life change, and money makes everything so complicated, and success, and people betray you, and I just sort of decided that, you know, I owe it to my work to just be an open book, and fuck, like, I became really famous, and I used to play in bars, and when it becomes complicated like that, you sort of ask yourself, like, do I even want to make music anymore on a commercial level? I'll just go make music downtown. I'll still be happy. I will. I don't need all of that if it means negativity, if it means compassion, if it means, you know, people in business grabbing at you and trying to define you. You know, you have to understand that when everyone's waiting for me to put music out, right, or a record out, you know, the label or management, there's no formula ever behind what we've done. And there's no process, like something that was created. Like, I'm not from a factory, right? So they're essentially waiting for a completely crazy person to deliver something they've never heard. They don't know anything about it. And I'm going to say, from nothing, blank. It's like a water glass, nothing. And then they're waiting for me to just give them all the music, give them the message, give them the visuals, everything behind it. And it can be very terrifying for people, because they have now, you know, a tour to sell, and they have singles that they need to keep up with, and they have a quota for the end of the year. And, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't read a special book to teach me how to do this, and nobody put me into a weird machine and pop me out Gaga. It's really truly who I am. So it's kind of like you just have to fight everybody off and say, listen, you're just gonna have to chill out. It's just pop music, it's not brain surgery. And you know, what I was saying in that is that I refuse to compromise and allow my talents to be monetized to the point that I don't even want to be here anymore. I will stop. I will quit. I will retire from the commercial market if I have to do something other than be myself. Because if I can't be myself in this moment, then everything I have said to my fans since the beginning would be a total lie. Because then what? I'll be myself until I have to make money to sustain a luxurious lifestyle? Oh, and then I'll change, right? No. I'll be myself until I fucking close the coffin, so that you can all be yourselves.
One of my friends, after watching the show on Fuse last night, one of my friends texted me and said, I'm not sure she wants to be a pop star anymore. And I said, and I wrote him back and I was like, well, if what you mean by pop star is what passes for the things you've got to sort of, the hoops you've got to jump through to be a pop star in 2014 for a lot of people, I hope you're right that she doesn't want to be a pop star anymore, because I think that, and I've long felt that what you represent is something that, to even talk about you in the same conversation sometimes as some other folks is just sort of, to me, it's beside the point. But regarding that, everything kind of, it was an odd time, the fall, wasn't it? A lot came to a head. I mean, you parted ways with your manager, and we don't have to talk about all the whys and wherefores about that if you don't want. There was a lawsuit from a friend and former assistant, and then people were sniping about the record and how it was doing, and doing, again, like I said before, that horse race of like, I mean, now it's just this, and I deal with this every day because we're doing music news every day, but you know, it's how did it enter? Was it number one, and how strong a number one, and how did it compare to this superstar? And oh, by the way, let's really pit her against other women, because we really like to do the whole, you know, woman versus woman thing, because boy, who doesn't love a pop cat fight? So it was at first it was roar versus applause, when applause came out a bit early, and then it was the album and how's it going to open, and do you just at some point do you just say stop with all that noise, or is it hard not to get?
No, I don't.
That was a convoluted question.
Things. I'm trying to figure out where to start.
We could talk about any of those things.
You know, we've sold over 2.5 million copies of Art Pop all over the world. I'm sorry I didn't sell 1 million records the first week. I have before. I've sold 27 million albums. I'm very proud of what we did. I sold as much as everybody else sells. I mean, I made a record. Look.
I mean.
It's so insane. I'm held to such an insane standard. It's almost like everybody forgets, which is maybe a compliment to me. When it comes to me, everybody forgets where the music business is now. It's like you're like you come see me live, or you listen to my music and you're time warped to the 70s or something. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know what fuck all I have to do with Katy Perry. I mean, it's like my music's so completely different. I couldn't be more different, really, and I really don't fit in pop music in a way, but I came in through it, and I'd like to think, and I hope to think, that I've changed it in some way, so that
you've made it a lot more interesting.
So that you all can feel like you don't have to fit into a mold, you know? I didn't have to fit into a mold. They tried. I saw Ski the other night, who he works for Kiss, you know, and he's amazing. He did my first interview, and he leaned over and he was like, you know, I'll never forget how when you first started, everybody was leaning over you, telling you your show was too gay and that it would never work. And everybody was it was like a thing in the business that I would walk in and everyone would go, it's too gay, it's never gonna work.
Right.
You know, and I used to sit in the room with all types of people in the industry, and I would say, okay, but I grew up playing in clubs and have a lot of gay friends and I have a lot of gay fans, so now you don't want it to be gay, but you want me to have them as fans? So you just want me to use people, right? Is that what you're asking me to do? I won't do that. I'd rather just have a real connection with them than have a fake one. You see, in the business, they're always trying to open and widen your demographic, right? Oh, well, you have them, right? So why don't you go after them now, so you can have more? We need to have more. I don't need more. I have my amazing fans. I love you. I don't need anybody else. If you want to come hang out with us and come to the party, you're all invited. But I don't need more, and I certainly wouldn't just abandon my morals and my core values to what? To be more famous?
And how great is it? How great is it that in the 6 years or so that you've been in our lives, that we've almost, maybe not quite entirely, but we've almost reached the point where there is no such thing as too gay. Right? I'm actually, in a couple hours after we finish this, I'm going to be sitting down with Big Frida and Sharon Needles, you know?
Yeah. It's great.
And I couldn't be more excited, and Laura Jane Grace, who's amazing. So
Yeah.
I couldn't be more excited about doing that.